See the game more clearly with high-definition spectacle lenses from Norville Opticians.
David, how difficult has this week been?
Yeah, it's been a tough week. It's been a tough week for us all involved in the club. I think when you look back across the course of the season, and really the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've almost, in terms of performance, not hit the levels that are acceptable. So for us, it's been a case of going back, looking at what we've done, trying to take some positives out of what was a very, very disappointing day. But ultimately, it's about focusing this week on Exeter. We come in on Monday. From a coaching team, had a look at the game. Players came back in on Tuesday, and from that point on, we put what happened behind us. That's sport. It's all you can do. You've got to look forward to the next game.
And have you worked out why things have been going wrong and how you can put them right?
I don't think there's any one single magic bullet that would be the reason for us not performing last weekend. As we've all said, you look back 5 weeks ago where we'd been performed well, we've been consistent, but yet for 4 weeks, particularly the Worcester game, we didn't perform at all. But last week, going from what was a very, very good performance against Leicester into another very poor performance, it's that consistency that we're striving for, and it's the consistency as a team we haven't quite hit just yet. But that's the challenge for us all. There's nobody panicking. It's not a case of throwing everything out and trying to start again. We know there's very good players. We know we've produced some very good performances throughout the course of the year. But what we've got to do now is make sure in these last 3 league games we go out and put in a performance that reflects the quality of player that we have, but also gives the supporters some belief in this team that going forward we will get it right.
I'm sure you'll say it doesn't matter who you're playing, it's about yourselves this weekend, but they don't come that much tougher than Exeter, do they?
No, they were magnificent last week in defeat against Wasps. Very unlucky to lose a game with the last kick, but throughout the year they have been very consistent in their performances, reflected in the fact that they're second in the Premiership. So for me, it's a huge test for us. It's a huge test of the players' character. It's a huge test of the players and the staff, their ability to bounce back. And we said it last week, it was a low point for us all. None of us expected to lose the game. None of us expected to produce a performance like that at Kingsholm. So this is now the good teams bounce back, the good players bounce back. We can easily sit back and hide. That's not what it's about. It's about going out and delivering a really big performance this weekend against a very good team.
And presumably some good faith to win back with the fans.
For the first time since I've been here in the game, at the final whistle, there was a huge sense of frustration, disappointment, anger, probably like we were all feeling, like the players were feeling. But they've been hugely supportive. I think there's been a general feeling that over the course of the last 18, 19 months since we started, that there's been an upward curve. But unfortunately in sport, it's not always, the curve doesn't keep going as the way we'd always like it. There were going to be ups and downs. We knew it'd be a roller coaster at stages. We'd hoped we'd got past a performance like that last weekend. But so for us, the last 3 games give us a huge chance to come back and show what we're about. And as I said, this will be a big test of character, but with the players that we have, I fully expect us to come out and produce a huge performance this weekend.
Laurie Fisher's said publicly, asking for the fans to stick by the club. I mean, fans you meet in and around the county, I mean, what have you been able to say to them? Have you been able to reassure them?
I don't think it's a case of trying to reassure them. It's empathising that we all have an unbelievable sense of disappointment at the way the last 5 weeks have gone. Last week was the final part of that because it ended our involvement in Europe. But the message very clearly is, you just can't panic. There will be opportunities over the next 3 weeks for us to show how good a team we are. It's a case of making sure that the things that we've done well, we continue to do well. It's a case of making sure that as we prepare for these last 3 games of the season, we prepare as if they were the first 3 games of the season. That's how important they are to us. But no, we all share the sense of frustration. As I said, that disappointment that comes with supporting a team, having expectation, having ambition for the team, and we haven't delivered against that over the last 5 weeks.